Welcome to part 4. Now, another common photo problem that you'll encounter is sensor spots and dust. No matter how careful you are when you change your lens, you might end up with little spots like this. If I just click and zoom in using the zoom tool and then use the spacebar to get the hand tool, you can see lots of horrible spots and bits of dust and fluff and all sorts of horrible things on the lens, and that's a real palaver because you have to remove them to create a decent looking shot without all these distracting artifacts. Now, one way to do that is to try and do it en masse using a filter, because there's just so many in this shot. So we could try going to Filter, Noise, and then choosing Dust and Scratches. Sounds good, doesn't it? And here you have an option there. We can click to sample a specific area like this bit here, then drag Radius, and as we drag, it kind of fills in small bits of dust. If I click to show you the before, let go to see the after, then you can see it's got rid of it. And we're seeing a preview on the main image as well, so if I just move around, we can see that if I turn the preview off, lots of bits of dust come back, turn it on again, and they disappear. Unfortunately, a lot of crucial detail is being erased as well. As we can see, if we click on here, lots of the island is gone. If we click to see the before, there's a bit of dust up there, but there's lots of detail on the island. Let go, and the dust goes, but so does this detail. So you could try and restore the detail by dragging Threshold to the right, and that is now revealing some more detail, but it's kind of also showing up a little bit of that spot too. So this does tend to work on some photographs but not on others, and let me just turn that on and off. There's the before. Look at that subtle texture and detail down there, which we're kind of losing. We're actually losing some of the island when we're applying dust and scratches. So we have to cancel, then pop over to the Tools palette and click here to select the very handy Spot Healing Brush tool, or you can press J to select it as a keyboard shortcut. You can then choose a size and a softness. Go for a nice soft edge. Around about 45 should do the trick. Leave it on proximity match because it will find neighbouring pixels that are clear and automatically pop them over the unwanted spot. And we don't need sample all layers because we're going to clone straight onto this main layer. And so I'm going to Control plus to zoom in, spacebar to find a nice juicy spot, and then click to start spraying, and it samples adjacent pixels very quickly and pops them over the unwanted spots. So that's a great way of dust busting, and it won't take you too long to get rid of most of the spots like so. This one's a bit bigger, so a quick spray here, a little bit longer, and it does a great job. Now you may find that when you come to spots that are over detail, it won't automatically find an appropriate pixel. So I click here, it looks a bit smudgy and horrible. So Control Z to undo, Control plus to zoom in. And what we're going to do now is use a very similar tool. This is the healing brush. And the main difference here is we can choose a nice soft edge. Let's just change this to a much softer, fluffier looking brush. There we go. 45 is the same. It looks like it's pretty similar to the settings we had before. And now we can alt click to choose an appropriate surrounding pixel and then click and spray, and that should heal in a more logical way. So it's now taking a bit of C here and popping it over there. If you don't quite like that, Control Z, I'm going to use the left square bracket just to shrink things down a wee bit, and then I'm going to alt click again, try and move that down a little bit more. Control Z, maybe go a little bit closer to get a more appropriate pixel. Yeah, that's a little bit more subtle, but it's making an invisible edit there now, so it's worth Control Z to undo anything that doesn't quite work, and then you can get rid of troublesome spots that are overlapping background textures and details like that. There's another spot here which we might need to sample adjacent to by alt clicking and then click and spray, and that gets rid of that quite quickly. So let's go back up to the sky again. These spots here don't need to have an alt click to sample specific areas, so we can just pop back to the spot healing brush and left square bracket to take it down a bit and just click and spray, and that should get rid of any spots in the sky quite happily. So dust busting can be a bit tedious. It's worth cleaning the lens just to try and avoid having to do this. Let's just click there as well. And there's a nice juicy one. So it's quite satisfying to get rid of them as it is getting rid of other types of spots. And then of course if we do go back down into the lower areas and we find some in more textured details, we can go back to this tool here, the healing brush, and then just alt click just next to it and take control over which areas are sampled. So that's dust busting. Let's press Z to fit on screen, and you can always then spot ones that you've missed and try and tackle them from a distance. And it's always a good idea before you start doing this dust busting to actually clean your monitor, because sometimes you'll be trying to get rid of a spot that's actually not on the photograph, it's on your screen. So that's how to get rid of center spots, and in the next movie we're going to have a look at lens-related distortions like vignettes and converging verticals, and we're going to help you fix those common problems too.